Leave us, Fletcher softly commanded. He was hesitant, but also relieved to be out of the creepy house. Once they were alone, Zakar looked at Fletcher with soft, kind eyes. I hold the secrets of these creatures too. Confide in me, and I'll make sure they don't harm you. The pig's eyes widened. You know the vampires in the woods? I can say no more than what I have said. Now tell me how you know the undead. Fletcher took a deep breath and spilled the whole story. She felt so relieved to get out after hurrying in all day. Zakara listened intently and nodded when appropriate. He said that what I saw was a Draconicus. Have you seen it too? Zakara studied her face carefully to be sure she was telling the truth, and that she wasn't one of those punks who liked to play jokes on the witch. But anyone could plainly see the innocence in the young mare, even they looked past the beauty. When she was certain her cousin was being truthful, she asked, "Would you like your fortune told, if I may be so bold?" "Oh," Fletcher said, finally understanding why she had brought out the crystal ball. "Sure, what do you want for this? Shall be for free. I only want to see." The cook closed her eyes as she swirled her host on the crystal ball, humming a low tune. Fletcher jumped as the ball seemed to come alive as a green swirling mist materialized within it. The girl opened her eyes and squinted at the now glowing ball. "I see," she murmured. "I see." The mist turned pink and took the form of a butterfly. "I see a kind heart, the purest of pure," she smiled at Fluttershy. "I don't need a crystal ball to be sure." The Pegasus blushed slightly. "What else do you see?" The misty butterfly slowly dispersed and reformed into a heart. "You're to be married off soon," the crow continued, "to a rich, handsome stranger of a groom." Flutter nodded sadly. "But your passionate heart won't accept such a fate. You desire true love," she smoked, "and you won't have to wait." The Pegasus was about to ask about this when there was a loud screech and the smoke turned bright red. The two of them jumped back in their seats. The girl gripping her armrests. She shut her eyes as she started breathing heavily. Flashy leaned toward cautiously. "Are you—" she squealed as the girl's eyes wide opened. They were glowing white, as was the crystal ball. "He waits for you." Flashy quivered at the change in her voice. It was low and sounded like something from a nightmare. "He waits for you," the girl says again. "The Count, he yearns for your blood, for your innocence. Danger, death, vengeance, truth, rebirth, blood, death, death, death." "Stop it!" Flasheye shouted. Scar snapped out of her trance. Her eyes had returned to normal and the ball was reduced to its original crystal clear state. "Sorry," she coughed, sitting upright. "Didn't have me to alarm." She held out the charm necklace. "Go now, take your chum." "But what was that all about?" "Go," Seeker insisted. "I can do no more for you here. Go now, and be careful, my dear." Despite the shock she had just received, Fluttershy took the necklace, thanked the saber, and drawn party paper outside. "Are you alright?" he pleaded. "I thought I heard screaming. I was just about to barge in there." "I'm fine," Fluttershy said as she lifted the necklace over her head. "I saw a mouse." "Can we go back to the manor now?" Party paper asked, glancing nervously up and down the empty candlelit street. "It's getting late and your aunt will be expecting us for dinner." "Yes, we can go back now." He sounded relieved, for this was the best idea she'd had all day. High above Sibiu, Discord was flying in his bat form, searching the streets and house for signs of his mare. He was sure she lived there, for it was the nearest town. It was easy to appear in the house as a bat, but they were so common around here that no pony paid any heed. He was worrying he would never find her, until he heard voices near Score's home. Then he saw her and he nearly lost his balance. He perched on a roof to get a better look at her. In the light of the street lamps, she looked even more beautiful than he remembered. Then he noticed the unicorn stallion walking beside her, and Discord felt a strong pang of jealousy. "Calm down, Discord," he told himself, taking a deep breath. "It may not be what you think. He could be her brother, or friend, or servant. After all, no man in their right mind would be out alone at this hour, especially after meeting you the previous night." As the mare and Kapanga continued on their way, Discord followed them and would stop occasionally to watch, depending on whether or not he should approach. He couldn't feel himself with the stallion there. He could always take his pony form, but he didn't want to win her love under false pretenses. If she were ever to love him, he wanted it to be for him, not how he looked. As Fluttershy and Party turned the corner, they came across four stallions wrapped in shabby cloaks huddled against the wall. One stallion, Another pony with dark stubble around his mouth looked up at the mayor and pleaded in a thick accent. Please, Dominisora, we are but poor, hungry stallions. Could you spare a few bits? He howled his hoof. Flash parried back away in hesitance. Oh, sure, Flash started reaching her statue. I'll give you a few. Or perhaps, the beggar said, standing up, you could give us. He took a knife out of his cloak. Oh, your bits. Flash and Parfait shrieked as the other three beggars, who were nearly twice their size, stood up and closed in on them. Before they knew it, they were backed into an alleyway. Disco snapped out of his thoughts when he heard his mate scream. He sat up and gasped when he saw the four thieves surrounding her and her companion. Disco's eyes narrowed, his pupils shrinking, steam coming out his nostrils, hatred and anger bubbling within him. Parfait said with a nervous smile, can't we work something out? We don't have much. Please. Flashes could grab whoever turns for luck. We'll give you anything. Then over the back, Dominisora. The leader of the thieves marked, holding out his hoof, and we'll be on our way. Flash was about to do just that when out of nowhere, something came between her and the thieves. All she could see was a tall black back covered by a black cape, held up by what looked like an eagle claw and a lion paw. Her blood grew cold as realization dawned on her. This guard hissed in the thieves' faces, making them jump back and scream. They tried to run, but with a swipe of his claw, this guard wheeled his cape to fly off his body, wrap up these thieves, and throw them against the wall. Party collapsed to the ground and faint. Flash was frozen in terror. The dogs quivered in their black blanket as Discord slipped over them. How dare you? He demanded coldly. How dare you? He lunged at them, placing his paw and claw on either side of their heads. What gives you the right to threaten a poor, defenseless mayor? A lady! We are sorry, the lady insisted, showing his eyes tight. We just want food and there was no other way. Well, Discord started stepping back. You won't have to worry about hunger anymore. He almost smiled and thieves screamed aside of his fangs. Wait! Flash Discord's teeth were just inches from Lee's neck, but Flash's voice stopped him. Don't hurt them! He moved away from the thieves and looked at her in confusion. She was still shivering in fright, but her eyes were bold and pleading. Such a gaze made him feel like he was melting in the sun. Don't hurt them? He repeated. Don't hurt them? They tried to harm you. They tried to rob you of your money. Flash gulped as she tried to stay brave. Yes, but they couldn't help it, and what they did was bad, but they don't deserve to die. Tears came to her eyes as she begged him again. Please. He wanted to argue. He wanted to defy her wish, for he truly wanted these thugs to pay for trying to hurt his mayor. But when he opened his mouth to protest, he found that he couldn't. No, he couldn't argue with those eyes. Those watery, piteous, innocent eyes. These vermin had tried to rob her, and yet she wanted them spared. He found her compassionate and remarkable. Most wives would choose vengeance or forgiveness, even his servants. It made him admire her even more. But he couldn't just let these thugs escape so they could tell every point all they had seen, so he turned back to them with spiraling eyes. He waited until they had all locked gaze with him and their eyes showed that they were under his power. Flashy watched in bewilderment. Now listen carefully, Disco said in a low voice. When I release you, you are going to go as far away from here as possible. Then you'll forget this encounter and never steal from anybody ever again. Understood? And they sounded in unison. Good. He grabbed the end of his cape and tugged on it, making the thugs spin out of control. Once he had gone over the distance, they raced out the alley as Disco proudly replaced his cape. His gaze returned to Flashlight, and the mayor whimpered as he stalked towards her. What was he going to do? Had he scared the thieves away just so he could have her for himself? Why else would he save her? Was he going to suck her blood right there in the alleyway? Or was he going to whisk her away to someplace more isolated? Was he going to suck her dry or simply bite her? Are you alright? She was caught off guard by the softness in his voice. He seemed to be looking at her in concern. His claw reaching out but hesitating touched her. Did they hurt you? The flashlight blinked in surprise. He was awaiting her answer, yet she couldn't find her voice. She responded by shaking her head slowly. Disco sighed in relief. Thank darkness. He scowled and clenched his fists. If they had hurt you, I wouldn't have let them go. She became even more confused by his statement. It was a lot different from the creature she had met last night. Instead of being menacing, he was acting almost protective. What is your name? She jumped when she realized his face was